Good evening, I'm Rodney Dunigan. We're following a number of developing stories tonight, including gunfire near a Columbus elementary school. One young victim was hurt. We're getting insight on what police are saying about that shooting and where the investigation stands at this hour. Also tonight, a scare on Ohio State's campus. 3 buildings evacuated after reports of a suspicious device. What we're learning from police about that incident.
Well, the calendar says it's still summer. Fall doesn't actually start until Monday, and even then, it's still going to feel like summer. The updated numbers and the chance for any rain coming up.
And the Buckeyes are 3 games in, and now the coaching staff is breaking down what's working and where the team needs to get better. We've got it all in the Football Fever. Those stories and breaking news as it happens right now on Good Evening Columbus.
Good Evening Columbus on ABC6 starts now.
Happening right now, a teenager is in the hospital after being shot near an elementary school in southwest Columbus. This all happened just after 3 this afternoon, just outside of Lindbergh Elementary School in southwest Columbus. That shooting forced 3 schools into lockdown. Nick Veland gathering the very latest on this investigation. Nick, what can you tell us?
And Nick Veland, ABC6 News.
All right, thank you, Nick. A bit of a scare on the OSU campus today. Several buildings were cleared out after someone found a suspicious device. Mike McCarthy has insight on what led to it all. A university spokesman tells us the student behind that project is not in trouble with the school. A Columbus man is facing charges accused of trying to impersonate a student and enroll in high school. Police arrested Caleb Alexander in Norwich, New York. They say they caught him with multiple fake IDs after a disruption at the YMCA. Detectives later learned that he went to a local high school and gave fake information trying to enroll. Alexander is wanted in Ohio for robbery and impersonating a police officer. The suspect in the murder of Charlie Kirk could face the death penalty if convicted. We learned that from the prosecutor in Utah just before Tyler Robinson made his first court appearance. Investigators say Robinson's roommate is providing them with information, and they are gathering plenty of evidence in the case. And the death of Charlie Kirk continues to have an impact across the country. Aaron Simonek spoke with the governor and the man who could be the state's next leader about the rise in political violence. The Licking County Sheriff's Office has identified the 3-year-old boy who died in a retention pond in Etna. Carson Cotis was pronounced dead just before 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. He was reported missing earlier in the day. Just hours later, he was pulled from the water, and right now a victim advocate is assisting the family as police work to figure out exactly what led to the boy's death.
We would acknowledge receipt of the indictment, waive its reading, and enter pleas of not guilty to all counts.
Today, a former daycare worker facing 19 felony counts pled not guilty in court. Caitlin Strohacker is accused of tying up a child's hands and feet and taping their eyes closed. Prosecutors say it was all caught on camera at the Over the Rainbow Child Care Center in Pataskala. Both Strohacker and her supervisor were fired. Right now, she's free on bond wearing a GPS monitor. No word on when or if her supervisor will face charges. In the football fever with the first 3 games of the season behind the Buckeyes, it's a good time for the coaching staff to go over what they've liked and what the team needs to improve on. Kellyanne Stitz breaking it all down from the Woody.
Ohio State.
To check out the full press conference with head coach Ryan Day and the other coaches, head on over to the ABC6 YouTube page. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and look for new content every day. A sharp drop in U.S. soybean sales to China could ripple far beyond the farm. With China shifting its buying power to South America, the fallout may soon hit trucking, ports, and local jobs, a major impact that could be felt right here in Central Ohio. Soybeans are big business in the U.S., especially in states like Ohio, Iowa, and Illinois. But farmers here are bracing for a major blow. China, once America's top soybean customer, has stopped placing new orders. The trade fight began in 2018, and with the steep Chinese tariffs still in place, American soybeans remain far more expensive than crops coming from Brazil and Argentina. In 2024, U.S. farmers still shipped nearly $13 billion worth of soybeans to China. But for this harvest season, the world's biggest buyer hasn't locked in a single new order.
Well, anybody that sells soybeans is going to be impacted, by tariffs. So yes, has to be a big concern. Some states sell more bigger percentage of their soybeans to China, but anybody's going to be impacted that grows soybeans. And as you know, we're a huge soybean producer in the state of Ohio.
The pullback could ripple across the supply chain, impacting truck drivers, rail yards, port workers, and even small town businesses tied to agriculture.
Very significant point would be that farmers are going to need assistance. You know, the last time we had the trade tensions several years ago, the administration and Congress stepped up, realized that farmers needed some assistance to get, to make it through the next year. I think that is certainly another important factor that is going to come into play.
Agriculture remains Ohio's #1 industry. Leaders say protecting it will be critical, not just for farmers, but for thousands of jobs tied to the crop. Experts say farmers could be facing one of their toughest harvest seasons in years, and how Washington responds could determine if they weather the storm. All right, take a look at this. The water at Indian Run Falls is looking a little sparse. You can see the creek bed there is drying up after nearly 2 weeks with no rain. And we're also learning that reservoirs across central Ohio are running low because of a lack of rain. And that has Delaware County Water asking people to conserve. They even put out an alert on social media. They say with above average temperatures and little to no rain in the forecast, they're seeing an increase in water demand. The company is asking customers to water their lawn every other day.
If our customers are able to do that, or simply just cut back the amount of water that they put down on their lawns, maybe by half, what that could do is it could save our treatment plant millions of gallons a day.
And Columbus Water tells us that water levels are slightly down in a couple of reservoirs, and they are certainly keeping an eye on.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us here at 11. I'm Jessica Ralston.
And I'm Rodney Dunigan. The heat is on across central Ohio. Let's take a live look over downtown Columbus tonight on this warm September night. It feels like we're having a bit of a second summer right now all around central Ohio. Of course, although fall is right around the corner. Chief Meteorologist Marshall McPeak tracking things for us. And Marshall, the big question for a lot of folks, how long will this heat be sticking around?
This looks like it's going to actually go on for...
All right, thank you, Marshall. Tonight, a sad update in the search for a missing 3-year-old boy in Licking County. Deputies say the child was pronounced dead at Nationwide Children's Hospital.
He was pulled from a retention pond this afternoon after being reported missing. People who live near this family are heartbroken tonight. Isabel Hansen spoke with a neighbor who witnessed the search for that little boy. Isabel, what exactly did he have to say?
Rod.
New information about a man accused of buying a 7-year-old little girl from North Carolina and sexually abusing her right here in central Ohio. 58-year-old Daniel Sisk was in front of a judge today.
Steve Levine digging deeper now to find out if more charges could be filed in this case.
Daniel.
Columbus State Community College and Ohio State University announcing a new partnership today, which could give some students the chance to get a degree they never thought was possible. It's a scholarship program called Buckeye Bridge, and it will allow low and middle income students who have earned an associate's degree from Columbus State to chase a bachelor's degree at OSU. Tuition will be free, removing that financial barrier that has kept some students from continuing their education. Continuing coverage, investigators are still working to piece together a motive behind the deadly shooting of political activist Charlie Kirk just last week.
Now investigators say they have recovered several items with DNA as the Utah County prosecutor prepares to file official charges. ABC's Jacqueline Lee has the latest details. Around town tonight, community partnerships are helping solve some real problems for families in central Ohio. In the Hilltop, fresh produce is now reaching the neighbors who need it most.
And it's all thanks to teamwork between the Mid-Ohio Food Collective and local volunteers.
Dream Center.
Farm fresh vegetables grown at the Mid-Ohio Farm on the Hilltop, making the short but meaningful trip to the Wheatland Crossing apartments.
We've got your stuff from the farm.
Most of the residents of the complex, seniors or those with disabilities living on fixed incomes. Getting to the grocery store isn't easy, and rising food prices add extra strain.
It really shows that Mid-Ohio Food Collective is of the community and not just in it. We believe that food is health overall, and so what we're really trying to do is make sure that we can support our neighbors who need that support the most.
That's why volunteers from the Hilliard Dream Center, in partnership with the Mid-Ohio Food Collective, are delivering garden fresh food right to their neighbors' doors, ensuring healthy meals are within reach.
Our motto at the Dream Center is find a need and fill it, find a hurt and heal it.
Organizers say it's more than food. It's dignity and connection. For residents, it's one less worry on the table.
Dear Heavenly Father God, I am just so grateful for Patricia.
For Hunger Action Month, this effort shows how community partnerships can shrink the distance between need and nourishment. We're at the start of the preseason now. Less than a week away, the Blue Jackets are gearing up for training camp.
Players set to report to camp on Wednesday with the team's first official practice Thursday after 5.
All right, thank you, Marshall. Columbus police investigating a heartbreaking shooting at an apartment complex on the southeast side of town. A 3-year-old shot and killed early this morning.
Lisa Rontala joining us from Columbus Police Headquarters tonight. Lisa, news.
All right, thank you, Lisa. And developing at this hour, another child is recovering after an early morning shooting on the northeast side of Columbus. An adult was also hurt in that shooting.
Take a look here at this scene. Our Tom Bosco is following the latest in this investigation.
We're getting new video showing the moments a Columbus police officer shot an armed suspect on the southeast side. This all happened Friday night along Burstock Road. Police say the driver refused to cooperate during a traffic stop and took off running with a gun. Now, we stopped this video just moments before the shots are fired. Take a look.
Here. I will shoot you! He's got a gun! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! I will shoot you! Drop the gun! Drop the gun!
Now, police say they gave several warnings to that suspect to drop his weapon before the shots were fired. Columbus police say the officer was justified based on that body camera video.
New tonight, the White House is responding to allegations that the president is trying to weaponize the Department of Justice against people seen as political enemies.
All of it following a message coming from the president. Christiane Cordero has the very latest.
New details are emerging on the framework deal announced between the U.S. and China to save TikTok.
The White House announcing today that the app will be controlled by American investors. Melissa Adon breaking down those details. All right, there are just 6 games left in baseball's regular season, and the Guardians and the Reds are in it to win it. Let's start with the Reds. Here's what the NL Central looks like right now. They can't win the division. Milwaukee is the best in baseball, ahead of them by 15 games. However, if we look at that wild card picture, the Reds are tied for the 3rd spot with the Mets. San Diego is up 5 games, so this is their best case scenario. Up next for Cincy, a 3-game set at home against the Pirates. Then they will finish it off with 3 in Milwaukee. The Mets are on the road at Wrigley Field, then against the Marlins. Now about those Guardians.
In the air, left field. The 10-game winning streak for Cleveland comes to an end in Minneapolis. But they have set the stage for a most dramatic finish to this 2025 campaign.
Most dramatic is right. Let's take a look at their scenarios. Here is the wild card race in the American League. Texas and Kansas City are still in it. Like the Reds, the Guardians have the 3rd wild card spot, tied with Houston. They're 1 game back of Boston, who lost last night. The wild card would be nice, but the real prize, of course, is the division. The once roaring Tigers have gone into near hibernation. They're just 1 game up on Cleveland. That comes with a big series starting tomorrow. The Tigers are coming to Cleveland for 3 games. A sweep would be ideal, but the Guardians need to win at least 2 of them. The Rangers are in town this weekend. Detroit will head out to Boston. As for soccer, the Crews still in that playoff hunt, but they need to win some games. They're 8th in the Eastern Conference, which would mean playing an elimination game to get into the postseason. They get Chicago, Orlando, and the New York Bulls to end their final games. Thursday is the deadline to take part in the Poppy class action lawsuit. Now, the previous owner of the drink recently settled a class action lawsuit that claimed the drink was improperly marked as gut healthy. Although court records show company officials didn't admit to any wrongdoing, they agreed to refund nearly $9 million to customers. Now, the agreement calls for customers to receive refunds, including $3 for each 4-pack and $6 per 8-pack. In health news tonight, it turns out that facelifts are trending for younger patients.
And as medical reporter Liz Bonus explains, it's all driven by the idea that you can prevent looking older, at least for a little while.